I finally saw The 355, which is a movie starring Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz, Lupita Nyong'o, Diane Kruger, and Fan Bingbing as agents from various international agencies trying to track down a magical computer drive that can hack into any technology and make it do anything. They have a guy demonstrating the power of the computer drive, and he says, "See that cargo plane in the sky? Watch this." And he presses a couple of buttons on his laptop, and then the cargo plane just explodes in midair hundreds of miles away. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever. The marketing campaign for this movie was just awful. Based on the trailers, I was expecting this to be a movie like, "In a world where our patriarchal government has been compromised, a team of elite ninja spy women are our only hope to prevent a nuclear war." Yes, Jessica Chastain says nuclear in the movie instead of nuclear. I was expecting it to be really heavy on the all men are trash and don't send a man to do a woman's job themes, but it was surprisingly light on that stuff. The action was pretty bad in some areas, but overall it wasn't nearly as cheesy as I expected. There are scenes where Chastain is punching larger men in the face with her tiny fists, and Fan Bingbing beats up 6 guys with a makeshift bow staff. But other than that, the girl power kung fu fighting was pretty conservative. I was expecting the 355 to be laughably bad, but it was actually just boring and derivative. Every spy action movie cliche is crammed into this movie. Someone pulls a gun on a friend who betrays them, and they say, "You can't do it. Can you?" And then they drive away while the other person puts their gun down in frustration. Or 2 people point their guns and say, "Drop your gun!" And the other says, "You drop yours!" And she says, "I'm going to count to 10. And then the other says, "I'm going to count to 5. Or 2 gangs of bad guys are going to do business, and one of them says, "So we have a deal?" And the other guy says, "Yeah, we have a deal." And then he pulls a gun out and shoots them, and then they all start shooting at each other. People who die off screen aren't really dead, and we're supposed to act shocked that their death was faked. Jessica Chastain stands on the side of the road and a bus drives in front of the camera, and then she's gone by the time the bus passes by. There's really nothing new or creative here. When I said they didn't have the all men are trash messaging, that's true for 95% of the movie, but then they just inexplicably decide to unload it all at the very end of the movie, where someone will sarcastically say things like, "You're right, a woman does need a man to explain it to her, and we women are just invisible, and you'll take all the credit." And I'm thinking, there it is! It's funny because they just crammed a movie's worth of that stuff into the last 5 minutes, like the writers said, "Oh shoot, we forgot to tell the audience about mansplaining." The best thing I can say about the 355 is that it's competently filmed. The only problem is that they don't use a lot of stunt doubles for the hand-to-hand combat, and some of the actresses are just too slow and unconvincing in the choreography. It's not exciting, it's predictable, it's not clever, but at the same time, it's not as terrible as I thought it would be, or at least not all the time. I wouldn't really recommend it, even on streaming, because we've seen it done better hundreds of times before.